Good morning. Hello, my name is Clarissa Garza, and I serve as your soon-to-be school administrator here in Berks County ISD. Today, I'm going to walk you through a recent U.S. Supreme Court case, Kennedy versus Bremerton School District, and explain how this decisions impacts our policies, staff, and students. This case is a valuable example of how we can uphold the law, respect individual freedoms, and maintain an inclusive school environment. Here's a little case overview. The case centers on Joseph Kennedy, a high school football coach in Washington who engaged in a brief personal prayer at midfield after games. At first, he prayed alone, but over time, some students and community members joined him voluntarily. The district told him to stop, citing concerns about appearing to endorse religion. When he continued, they placed him on administrative leave. Kennedy claimed this violated his First Amendment right to free speech and free exercise of religion. Went to the Supreme Court, and in 2022, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled 6-3 in Kennedy's favor. The court said his prayers were private religious expression protected by the First Amendment because they were voluntarily non-coercive and happened after his official duties. They cited earlier cases like Tinker versus Des Moines, affirming that neither student nor teachers lose their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse gate. The court stressed that schools must avoid both coercing religious participation and showing hostility towards religion. The Texas law and local policy. Here in Texas, our educational code and TEA guidance already protect voluntary, non-disruptive religious expression for both students and staff. Berks County ISD policy reinforces the personal religious expressions is allowed when it is voluntary, non-coercive, and does not interfere with duties. The Kennedy decision strengthens these protections, especially for staff, by clarifying the lines between personal expression and school-sponsored activities. The actions that we'll take to apply our districts will review updated policies within 90 days to align with Kennedy and Texas statutes. Secondly, provide annual training for staff and difference between personal and school-sponsored religious activities. And lastly, use clear communication protocols and documentation when concerns arise, so we base our decisions on facts and laws, not assumptions. And why this matters so very much is implementing these tips will protect rights, reduce conflict, and build trust with our schools, communities. Students see real-world examples on how democracy works, balancing freedom of expression with respect for others. Staff models ethical conduct, and our character education programs gain real-life lessons in empathy, respect, and self-control. In short, the Kennedy case reminds us that schools can protect constitutional freedoms while maintaining inclusivity and fairness. By applying the law with consistency and empathy, we strengthen both our legal compliance and our school culture. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to continuing this very important conversation.